Today I just wanted to take a quick look at the Halloween that almost wasn't. This is a 1979 short film, and it originally aired on ABC October of 1979. And then again, at some point, it also was aired regularly, of course, during the Halloween season on the Disney Channel between 1983 through 1996. And that's a fairly decent run for a special. I mean, to my knowledge, they really don't stick around too long, especially if they're not popular. But, you know, to pick something up from one network and then move it over to another channel, that's definitely something. This film was released on VHS in 1992, and it was retitled The Night Dracula Saved the World, which I think that's just a little bit too dramatic. I wouldn't say he saved the world. Maybe potentially a holiday, but the reasoning behind how in the world he managed to save this holiday still makes no sense to me, absolutely. So this film opens up with you've got a family. They're for some odd reason they're dressing their kids up and getting them ready for Halloween, but this is actually the day before Halloween that the kids are doing their trying on their costumes. Mom's doing the daughter's makeup. I don't know if they just needed like a practice run or what the deal is, but that seemed odd to me, but okay, fine, whatever. One of the things that I guess I really didn't like about the scene is it comes off as very easy reader. The dialogue is just very overly simplified, and for some odd reason they kind of try to give us a history lesson. Of course, you know, everyone's heard the background or the mythology behind Samhain, and of course, you know, the reasoning why everyone disguises themselves or wears costumes, and of course how the bonfires were later adapted into jack-o'-lanterns. So Mom goes through this, and meanwhile I'm just kind of sitting here like I've heard this a million times over, boring, move on. But I don't know, I guess they just wanted to give the film some kind of depth, or they were just kind of reaching just to make it a little bit longer. Either way, I just really didn't find it necessary. But somehow or apparently, while they're in the middle of this discussion doing their practice makeup, there is a news report that comes on, and you have a reporter who is talking about a rumor that Dracula is trying to put an end to Halloween. So first off, if this is the news, why is he talking gossip? You know, I don't know. But obviously this riles up Dracula, and he calls an emergency monsters meeting. So you have the Wolfman, you have a mummy, you have Frankenstein's creature, and a witch who all show up. And throughout the course of this, we do discover that it's actually the witch who is wanting to put an end to Halloween, because apparently she's tired of all the ugly girl jokes, and she, I guess, feels underappreciated. So she has a few demands which Dracula refuses to meet. So supposedly, I have no idea how the rationale behind this happens, but she has to fly over the moon, E.T. style, at midnight so that Halloween can happen. I don't know why, I don't know what the rationale behind this is, other than, you know, maybe somebody's a Steven Spielberg fan, or, you know, it's too early in the game to be referencing Batman, but apparently people have something about the moon. And apparently she is not over the moon about Halloween. Yeah, I know, bad joke. But she refuses to do this thing, and they're chasing her all over Dracula's castle, I guess just trying to talk sense into her. But seriously, if somebody's running after you, are you really going to stand around and listen? So they're running around kind of like in this fast-forward motion, going in and out of doors, down hallways, and I don't know, all you really need is just the Benny Hill music at this point. You know, just kind of a bit ridiculous there. Eventually the witch does manage to get out of there. She goes back to her own castle, and of course as the sun is rising, Dracula pretty much has to wait until the following day to deal with her. So they make their way out there again, they sneak into her castle, and eventually she is cornered, and they do try to reason with her, and of course she's just not having it. So for some crazy reason, the two kids doing their practice run at the beginning of the short, I don't know how, I don't know why, obviously Mom and Dad didn't drive them out there, but they show up unattended in this castle full of monsters to talk sense into the witch. And they're kind of like, please, Miss Lady Man, we love Halloween, and we think you're swell. You know, you're a cool chick. So apparently the witch is like, oh, well, you know, that changes everything. I'm totally going to fly over the moon now. So she does, and apparently Dracula, you know, obviously had to agree to meet her conditions as well, in addition to them throwing a disco party after she returns from flying over the moon. And I don't know, apparently the witch really does have severe image issues because she, I guess you could say, de-uglifies herself, or pretty much just basically turns into a normie just to attend the party, which, you know, I mean, it's Halloween, why bother? But I don't know, maybe that was her costume, I don't know, it's her thing. But, you know, I really wasn't too impressed with this short. I didn't think too much of it. Yes, it's very cheesy, it's very low budget, but it's also, you know, from the 70s, and it's probably, you know, I get the impression that it's something that was just slapped together, and it's like, here, throw this on the TV, people will watch it. And apparently they did, because it did have a decent runtime on the Disney Channel, but yeah, this one I just thought was just very bleh, you know, just, I didn't care for it. I had no familiarity with this whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, I just really didn't think too much of this. It's, you know, I sat through it just because it's a title that I had heard around here and there, and, you know, curiosity, but, you know, now I know. So that is pretty much my thoughts on this. I don't know if this is a film or a short film that you guys may or may not be more familiar with, or I don't know if it, you know, if it was part of one of your Halloween traditions or something that was just watched regularly in your household. But yeah, I would love to share some thoughts with you guys on this. You know, obviously, if you have a better appreciation of it, you know, maybe I can potentially try to grasp the concept here a little bit better. But that is pretty much all I have for you guys today, and I will talk to you later.